Warning. My voice is like no bass anymore. What's up with that? Warning. Today's video contains opinionated slander against somebody. One Playboi Carti. I'm not a big fan of him, and I'm recording this before listening to a bunch of songs that'll hopefully change my opinion of him, because I will try to keep my wording in this video to be as vague and middle grounded as possible with everything, because I don't think nobody wants to sit here and listen to me just publicly crucify him verbally for like an entire 10 to 15 minutes. I don't know how long this will be. So, you know, and you can guess where this goes from here. Let's get to the intro. Chop chop, cut. Playboi Carti. This easily has to be my least favorite rapper of all time. And you could be like, oh, I can name some worse rapper, there's worse options out there, Yeah, yeah, for me personally, it just doesn't get worse than Playboi Carti. This is Oh, I was not excited for this video, having to force myself to listen to a bunch of Playboi Carti. He's not my favorite pick. And I honestly don't have a lot of things that can be considered positive to say about him, because I really am not a Playboi Carti fan. But for the sake of today's video, I have to listen to a bunch of Playboi Carti. So the way I'm gonna do this video, I'm gonna do it a little bit differently from the way I did the Drake video for Playboi Carti. The way I'm gonna do this video is I will actually start off by covering why I don't mess with Playboi Carti and his whole lot of whatever he does. And then after that, the way I want to listen to songs was, last time I just picked a bunch of songs that were like considered really popular by Drake. And so this time I want to go to all of Playboi Carti's albums. I said his name without the thing, god damn it. And instead listen to the songs that are considered highly rated from every album. And then I can pick the standout ones. I'll do the audio logs, and yeah. I have a lot more audio logs. For the Drake video, I had a bunch more, but the problem was they all sounded bland because I was using the same words over and over and trying to save the reason why I didn't like him for last. That mistake kind of doomed that and all of those audio logs. So instead, I'll just cover why I don't like Playboi first, and then I can do the audio logs for all of them, and then I can, I can be a lot more open and expressive with my words instead of sounding like I'm repeating the same 30-second audio over and over and over again. So because I'm covering like what is easily my least favorite guy to cover, I'm gonna actually start this one off by having to name some good things about him that I personally like. I genuinely had to actually stand around and think about this one, because I really couldn't think of anything off the top of my head, honestly. So after I sat around, I was able to at least come up with 2 things I really like about Playboi Carti. Yes, 2. Only 2. Yeah, I really am struggling to think of a third thing, so we're just gonna go with the 2. The first one, I really like. No, okay, I just thought of a third thing. I really like the I Am Music album cover. Genuinely, I can admit, as much as I don't like Playboi Carti himself, he easily has one of my top 3 favorite album covers of all time. I think the I Am Music album cover is dope as hell, and it's one of my favorites generally of all time. I'm a big fan of that. My second good thing I can say about Playboi Carti is the one song I can truly stand him on is Timeless. And I'll get deeper into why I feel like that's the case. I have the reason, and I've talked about and thought about it for a while. But it's the one song I can really sit through, and I can actually say, you know what? I can bear through this. Playboi Carti isn't bad on the verse. I think the lyrics are. The lyrics are by the definition of like kind of mid to me, being realistic. They serve zero purpose.
You should kill yourself.
It's just my take, but you know what? He's bearable. And I have found myself, because I listened to Timeless on loop, admittedly, I've learned the lyrics to his verse, and I can admit I rap to it a little bit every now and again. So yeah, I can name 2 things I like about Playboi Carti. My third thing was really just gonna be that I like his album covers. Admittedly, I do like his album covers. The Die Lit, I actually think that one's kind of dope. I'm a big fan of that. Nothing But Red, All Red, I don't know what the album's called. I forgot. I'm recording this pre-listening to a bunch of Playboi Carti for the record. So, but, I'm just like, I don't remember what the album's called. The point is, I actually like the cover of that one. I remember the cover of it. I Am Music, obviously, big fan of that one, and that's everything I know about Playboi Carti. Right now, to my knowledge, I know Magnolia. I know one of the songs off I Am Music. I'm a really big fan of it. That's a lie. Again, we'll get into that later. But you get the general gist. I can name few good things about Playboi Carti, and I don't have high opinions right now. So, you know, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm really hoping my mind is changed by the end of this. Really, I really am hoping. So one of my reasons why I really don't like Playboi Carti is, first of all, his voice just pisses me off. There's something about his cadence it's not for me. But a conversation I had with someone recently, and she helped me realize something about him and helped bring up some really good points, so very big thank you to her for that conversation, is that Playboi Carti's style feels very experimental. You know, like, it doesn't sound refined or anything. It always sounds like he's doing something new, trying out something, practicing. And I don't know, maybe just because I also produce some rap, I'm always in like a more top 100 mindset, so like my sound's a lot more refined and all that, while Playboi Carti's is always doing something new, trying out something else, messing with a bunch of different sounds. And maybe just to my ears, those sounds do not click. They do not hit different. There's not a bopper, not a banger, not a beat. No, it's just... Yeah, I can't admit though, his voice is like the biggest thing that drives me wild about trying to listen to him. I cannot. There's something about how he raps cadence-wise with his own thing. The way he did it on Timeless though, I feel like the way he did it there, maybe it was just because the beat was more structured well and better, that actually worked with him. I feel like maybe he was just talking normally, or like he wasn't doing some weird flow. Whatever it was, I actually really can stand his verse on Timeless, and I can get through the whole song because I actually really like the song. It's just his own stuff I cannot stand him through. So I'm gonna go and listen to a bunch of Playboi Carti. I'm really not excited for this. Alright, hi, it's me. It's been like 2 days since I last did the recording for, before I started listening to some Playboi Carti. And you know what? I've actually come to greatly appreciate Playboi Carti after having to sit through and listen through basically the entire albums, dude. But you know what? I still am not the biggest fan, but you know what? One thing I can say about Playboi Carti that I really like is that he always sounds, looks, and feels like he's just trying to have fun. It looks like he's not in the rap game taking it so seriously. He's just doing it here for shits and giggles, and just because he sounds like he really loves music. You know what? I think part of the reason why I love that I Am Music album cover is just because, the simplicity, but like the meaning behind, he loves music. And when I actually listen to him, it feels like he just loves music. It sounds like he gets in a studio, he hears a beat, he just raps on it for fun, and then, it's a hobby for him. He's enjoying it. And you know what? I love that for him. And it made me have to actually take the time, and it helped me appreciate his work a little bit better. Granted, his voice... Yeah, his voice, still not for me. However, one thing I will say is from his start of his first album, that's literally called Playboi Carti, and then all the way to, his newest album, I Am Music, you can definitely hear he's refined his sound more, he's changed his voice a little bit, And that level of development and changing and growing, I really can appreciate. I think I'm probably a bigger fan of what felt like when he was just talking into his headphones mic for his first album versus his now more I Am Music stuff. I think it's even worse there for me than his first stuff, that Magnolia. Like, around that area, I'm a lot more bigger fan of just that regular him talking versus him doing like 4 different voices during one album. And credit to Playboi Carti's producers, because originally this whole time I kind of thought and have been under the impression that Playboi Carti produced his own stuff. I actually went and found out he has quite the roster behind him. He has, like, I know Pierre does some of it. I forgot a lot of the names. There wasn't like really anything that stand out other than Pierre and Kanye, like some of his producers. And even then, like, I can admit, I get down on some of Playboi Carti's producing. Not all of it, but there's some of them that really do kind of hit and stand out to me. But either way, I can admit, Playboi Carti is of solid quality to me now, after giving so much time to listen to him. And here are my standout picks of songs and singles I listened to. Location. I honestly wanted to pick any song other than Magnolia from this album, and honestly, I don't even think Magnolia is the best song on the entire album. I actually really do believe Location is the best. I really like Location, and yes, is it because of that pad synth instrumental? Maybe. Yes, and you know what? It actually has that thing I was talking about earlier with Playboi Carti, is that young sense of it through his first album, where it just felt like he was just talking into his mic, just having fun, just like dicking around with a rap song. It has that charm to it, and I love that about it. It's really basic, it's really simple, and it's the best song on the album, if you ask me. Magnolia is the meme song, but nah, I'm a big fan of Location. R.I.P. Admittedly, through all of these, I've been trying to avoid picking ones that have features, as I'd rather pick the ones that are just like him by himself, so it's his work that truly stands out. And for this one, when it came to picking for this album, I was really trying not to pick Poke It Out, because, not to say that Nicki Minaj is bad, I think she actually did well on her verse, but to me, I personally lean more to R.I.P. Granted, I like my music a little bit more bass heavy, just drums. I'm a big fan of that stuff. So, R.I.P. was right up my alley. The Rage era is right up my alley, in all honesty. But, this was the one that was like, yeah, out of everything on the album, this was probably my favorite song. Honestly, the Die Lit album is not my favorite. If I had to put them all together, it's probably my least favorite of all the 4. But R.I.P. was the one that stood out the most to me. And again, it's his cadence that's like, it's memorable. It hooks you. His cadence honestly does. I still granted think his voice is... The weird thing is, I think if it was any other art or any other beat or anybody else's song, I would be sick of his voice. But it's because it's Playboi Carti's. It's his song, it's his cadence. It all just balances out and gives you exactly what you expect. So I can't even hate it. But I will hate just to say I was the biggest hater. How is your top 5 songs, your top 4 of them, all features? I just have to be the biggest hater. I just had to. I'm sorry. Sky. Yeah, okay. I can be very honest. I really fucking like Sky. Like, this is my favorite Playboi Carti song. And that's saying something. I really like Toxic, but I love Sky. And yes, I know it is the meme one from the album, but I forgot to mention this, but one of my favorite things about Playboi Carti, and I can admit it's one of the good things about him, is that every song he does, I feel like, can have a meme from it. The dude has so many memorable memes, one-liners, and ad-libs. He's mastered that craft. And so yes, I know this is the one with the wake up meme, but holy crap, what the hell happened to my voice? But as much as, yes, that's the best part of this song in terms of just like what you remember, I think the whole song is really catchy. I think he has multiple one-liners throughout it. I really like it's my favorite Playboi Carti song. It's my favorite so far. And yes, the instrumental carries it a lot, if you ask me at least. Evil Jordan. Honestly, off the whole album, this song easily has my favorite name just because it sounds so fucking stupid. Like, I think of the evil Kobe Bryant image, but instead it's from Michael Jordan. It's funny to me. But upon listening to it, my first few times I heard the song, I absolutely hated this shit. Because it starts with this nice soft pad, and I'm a really big fan of pads personally. I love that sound, and I love using it. So, so when I first heard that, I'm like, okay, this might be good. And then it cut to the shit we got. Like, I don't even know how to talk about it. It's just like like it's oh my god. Having given time, I actually kind of like it now. I think because I think it's so ridiculous and stupid that I can enjoy it and laugh at it now. But upon my first couple times hearing Evil Jordan, I could not stand that song. I could not stand that beat. As far as lyrics go, obviously Playboi Carti doesn't really go anywhere. But you know what? Evil Jordan is memorable, and I get why it's probably one of the more popular songs off that entire album. And that will put a general bow tie into today's video. Have I been successfully convinced into a Playboi Carti fan? No, not really. However, if I see Playboi Carti's dropping a new album, I am not gonna go listen to it. Heck, I might not listen to it on day one. I'm not gonna listen to it on probably week 3. It'll be a while. I don't know when I'll ever get around to it, if I ever choose to. It might be completely accidental. It might be because I'm doing a part 2 to this, who knows. But if I see Playboi Carti dropping a new album, I will root for it, and I will hope it does well. Because at the end of the day, Playboi Carti, like I said, it doesn't seem like he really cares too much about the rap politics or this music industry stuff, or like really wanting to do like all this other stuff that like most people really think of when they're like, I need to get into the music industry and all that. He just seems like he's here to do it for fun, and because he just genuinely loves music. But he is not music. I'm sorry, my guy, and I know you love music, and believe me, music loves you too, and I think the sentiment is awesome, but you don't know how great of what you were spitting on that album cover when you named it and made that image. You are good, and you can love music, but you are not music.